Hello, and thanks very much for joining this video interview about our master's course in Sustainable Electric Power. My name's Tina and I work in the marketing department at Brunel, and I'm joined today by Dr. Ioana Pisica, who is the course director of our MSc Sustainable Electric Power. So welcome, Ioana. Would you like to kick us off, please, by giving us a brief academic bio of yourself?
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to this film. I am, as Tina introduced me, Dr. Ioana Pisica. I am a reader in the Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering at Brunel, that is associate professor in other parts of the world. I did all my degrees back in my home country, which is Romania. So I did my bachelor degree in power systems engineering. Then I did a master's degree in cybernetics, and then I did a PhD combining artificial intelligence and power systems. And then I came to Brunel as a postdoc, and I remained at Brunel then as a lecturer and senior lecturer and so on.
And what's your focus of your research?
My research is looking into the big challenges in the power systems nowadays, like the integration of renewable energy, which is great for the environment but not so great for the operation and management of our grids, and looking into decarbonizing the energy sector in general, like new technologies in hydrogen, in transportation and so on.
Excellent, thank you. Now, this particular master's course, how long has it been running?
The Sustainable Electrical Power master's course has been running for 20 years now. Wow. It has a very long history, and we have a very good reputation in the sector, so it's very, very exciting to lead this course today.
Yes, and it's obviously a sector that is changing, evolving rapidly. How do you ensure that this particular course is kept completely relevant and completely up to date?
Well, first of all, our course is very, very strongly linked with industry. We have a very strong industry advisory panel, and we get their views every year when we revamp our modules to make sure that they are relevant to the needs of the industry, and this ensures also that our graduates are ready for employment. We have in every module in the course lectures given by industry-based people, by specialists, that they are coming and they are talking to our students about the new problems that they have to face in the real world, in the power system sector, and of course we are always engaging with the industry to get their input into our curriculum.
Right, thanks. And what kind of background do most of your students have? Do they come straight from their undergrad, or have they worked?
We have a mixture of backgrounds coming into our course. So we have students that come just directly from their undergrads, but we also have mature students that have been working in the industry for a while, and they realize that a qualification would be very valuable, so they come back to study with us.
Right, okay. And there is some flexibility. You have different start points in the year. Can you explain the difference between the two?
Yes, so we have a start point in September, and then we have another one in January. This ensures that we manage to capture people coming from backgrounds from all over the world, where the educational systems have different alignments in the year. So we do have the flexibility of starting people as soon as possible on the course.
Yeah, and in terms of actually getting a place on the course, I know there's a standard Brunel entry requirement for engineering that you just need a 2-2 in a undergrad engineering course. But do you sometimes take on people whose work makes up for not having that traditional qualification?
Absolutely. So just recently we had somebody coming from a college in India, but it was not really meeting our entry criteria. Yeah. However, we took into account their work experience, and they got on the course, and I have to say that they performed stellar. So it was really good. Yeah.
Great, okay, thanks. It's worth saying at this point also that we do have some quite generous scholarships available for students. So if you are, this is not the time to go through them, but if you are thinking of making an application, please go to our website and look at our scholarships page, and you can read about those. Okay, so let's move on now to the content of the course. Can you give us an idea about the kind of modules that are compulsory and those that are optional?
Sure. So the compulsory modules which all students have to take are very important for people wanting to work in the power sector. So, for example, we look into sustainable power generation, we look into power system stability and control, we look into smart grids operation and management, and a lot of other modules that are really fundamental to the operation of future power systems, as I said, with the challenges of renewable energy and new technologies coming in. We do have an option for students to choose one of two modules, so they can either go with vehicular technologies, so looking into electric vehicle systems and their integration into the power systems, or they can look into power electronics and drives, which give them a slightly different spin on their degree. So most of our modules are compulsory, but they do have the opportunity to choose between two modules.
Okay, thanks. And obviously one of the most important things is the dissertation, which amounts to a third of your qualification. Can you give us some examples of some interesting topics that have been submitted recently?
Sure. I mean, before we talk about the topics, it's worth noting that a lot of our dissertations are actually supervised by industry specialists. So this is something that we offer, which is very important and very valuable for our students, because they can go and have a dissertation topic done, a dissertation research done in a company with the help of a company, a power company, generally in the UK, and this gives them the opportunity to work, to gain industrial experience while studying as well. So this is extremely valuable when they go for interviews. For example, we had a student working with National Grid ESO, now it became NISO, and they were looking into how electric vehicles would affect the power grids in the future. So it was something that it was really topical, and they got hands-on information about this. Other topics that are of very large interest are power system stability, applications of renewable energy technologies. So all of these actually help our students to get an understanding of the challenges in power systems.
Wow, thanks. Can you describe a typical day in the life or a week in the life of one of your students and how they spend their time?
Our students have a timetable which revolves around lectures and labs. Usually our students have around 3 or 4 lectures per week and 2 or 3 labs per week, depending on the time in the term. We try to keep the timetable as flexible as possible for them, because some of our students work part-time while they study with us. So they usually come and join us for sessions for 2 days or 3 days per week. And the rest of the time they can access our labs and they can prepare for their assignments, or they can just study deeper the software that we are teaching them, and they can operate as well equipment to fundament their learning on the course.
Can you give us an example of the labs facilities that are most used on your course?
Yeah, we use 2 types of labs. We use computer-based labs, where we are teaching our students industry standard software that they are using after they graduate in their employment. So, for example, Power Factory, ETAP, IPSA, PowerWorld, and so on. All of those are software suites which the industry is very well informed about. And we have hardware labs where students get to do hands-on experiments on transformers, electrical machines, power electronics and drives. So we complement the theoretical learning with hands-on experience.
Great, thank you. Now, in terms of accreditation, this course has two very important accreditors, doesn't it? Could you go through them, please?
Yes, so first of all, the accreditation is very important for master courses especially, for undergrads, but for masters especially, because it's a seal of approval from accrediting bodies which guarantees the quality of the courses, but also allows graduates to use the master course partially for their professional registration as chartered engineers. So this is very, very important. Now, indeed, we have two accreditations. We have the accreditation from the IET, and then we have the accreditation from the Energy Institute. So our graduates can choose whether to go for chartered engineer registration with either of these entities. And also, both of them offer online resources to our students. In addition to that, our students get free membership with the Energy Institute while they are our student. So they get access to all the information available and all the support available to them through the Energy Institute.
Great, thanks very much. Well, finally, probably the most important point, careers. Can you give some examples of the kind of work that your graduates have gone into recently?
Sure. So our graduates are very appreciated in the power sector in the UK. And abroad as well. But talking about UK specifically, our students go on to work to companies like the National Grid, the National Energy System Operator, they go to UK Power Networks, they go to Scottish and Southern Power Networks, they go to Electricity Northwest and so on. So all big companies in the power system area, and also consultancies. And almost all of our graduates are now in employment, even from the ones that recently graduated, because they are well sought in industry. For example, we had a student 2 years ago who was offered 2 jobs, and he had the benefit of choosing which one to go to. He was offered National Grid and also consultancy company. He went to the consultancy company. The salary was higher, and then from there he moved on, and now he is in a senior position in Electricity Northwest. So it was
just in 2 years.
Just in 2 years, a very, very high career achievement. So it's very impressive. But as I said, almost all of our graduates get to work in the power sector in the UK quite easily.
Great, thank you. Well, I think we've covered nearly all the areas that our prospective students ask us about. But if there's any questions that we haven't covered and that you're interested in making an application, please send us an email to a very easy to remember email address, which is inquiries@brunel.ac.uk. And if you mention sustainable electrical power in your email, it will get passed on to Ioana, who will reply to you. But in the meantime, thanks very much, Ioana, and thanks very much for watching.